Eve paints.
Hey folks, welcome to another 3D printing Patreon preview. I have 152 campaigns to share with you today, and I'm about 5 days late, so let's get started. Quick content warning, some of these campaigns contain pinup style models. Link in the description to a video discussing why that needs a content warning. A great start today. Ogre Miniatures has a bust of Mel Medarda from Arcane, as well as a couple more grimdark themed subjects. This is a Pack Mimic and the Ironclad from B Team Minis. Iconic Minis has free Fly Demon and Gorilla Demon models for you. Art Colobas has a bit of RoboCop fan art as a February bonus. The Lair of Fafnir is a February release from Two Moronic Miniatures. This Kobold is a free download from channel patron Sculptor's Cave. If you like it, they have a whole set of them with more to come. These are work-in-progress shots of a Hellbringer and a Soulbinder from Standart Painting. The latest minis from WTH Studios include Durger, Demons, and more. Kerpa Miniatures has a squad of Hammer Dwarves. This is the Grey Merchant of Ashpodel, a Magic the Gathering card from Stormcrow. These are Nightmare Gargoyles and a Cyberghoul from the Surreal Factory. 3D Print Cleric is working on modular orcs this month. These are the Cartographin Privateers from Golden Dragon Games. Realm of Paths has Demon Riders, Demon Dancers, and other things. Reiko Vendetta Estudio are working on a Forest Elf fantasy football team. Blue Wyvern has a bee/wasp folk theme happening this month. Print, Paint, and Play have an Elabrias Ghoul and a Drow, amongst other things, coming this month. Here are the February set of Space Critters from Zombie Smith Miniatures. Polygrim is still playing with Lovecraftian themes, with crypt creatures, a strong female protagonist, and various locals. From Bob Naismith, this is a Lazarus dropship, as well as a shipwreckage, a lift truck, and more. These are the Silver Lake Observatory and Church from Dottie Dungeon and Intorni. The next project from Arcanum Workshop is Lizardmen, including some pretty fantastic mounted units. Admiral Apocalypse has a Lost Mage Tower set of miniature bases and terrain props. From the Portal of Morrow, here are finished Demon Samurai and work-in-progress Dragon Ontori and Bamboo Ogres. Here are a Dwarven Thief, a Tabaxi Rogue, and a Ratfolk Rogue from Your Neighbor Knight Minis. This is the champion of a coming squad of Sylvan Elf Archers from Hollow Miniatures. This is an Ice Troll and a Witch Hunter from Celia Miniatures. Empire Miniatures has a giant of the Celestial Empire, standing 14 centimeters tall. Here are 2 tanks from Panzer Printer, with names that I'm not even going to attempt. Clay Demon Miniatures has a couple rogues this month. This is a work in progress Paladin Knight from Sculptuner. Here are the last 4 tank killers from Mecha Miniatures. KMFP Designs has new combat bikes and soldiers for their small-scale Orbital Knights army. Here are the latest previews of The Temple of Rock Giants from Savant 3D, including a free download. An Orc weapon platform and a Fallen Lord are the latest release from Ratman Forge. From Valkyrie's Playground, these are the Bloodguard Vampire Elites. Be careful getting a drink from this well, from August McDaniel. These Alien Void Stalkers are the February release from Mammoth Factory. These gargantuan beasts are the latest models from TPK Lab. Here is a new Nosferatu model from Claudio Cassini Art. Here are 2 more of Peculiar Companions armies adapted to 10 and 15 mm. Labradorite Wolf has a Chinese water tiger for their February release. Channel patron Tordo Minis has a new Dragon Daughter in 2 forms, as well as soldiers for their Dragon Dynasty army, and a Bone Ballista, Catapult, and Vultures for their Eternal Pharaohs. From channel patron Lost Heresy, the Dorngons have arrived, and here is a peek at one of the Bounty Hunters coming next month. Magori Miniatures is working on Mercenary Ogres for their February release. Zandoria Studio has 6 new Napoleonic soldiers with 2 different options for style of hat. Red Nebular has new Void Ranger reinforcements, 10mm Dune Jackals, and a small but giant Cyclops. Mr. Modulork has been working on a squad of Monster Hunters this month. The second set from Crosslances for February are these 12 Wolfmen. Niverdale Tabletop has droids, Imperial officers, and a Naboo starfighter for their February release. The February models from Cult Miniatures include Stone Giants, Ropers, and a Cave Troll. Here's a first look at the steel watch knights that Dragon's Forge Miniatures is preparing for March. The first two pages here are the completed February release from Maddox Historical Miniatures, and the third is a preview of next month's content. Naga Minis has Corgi Fighters, a Tiger Warrior, Rabbit Monks, and more. This Runic Smith and Dwarven Ballista are the first of the March models from Dragon's Lake Miniatures. Gloomy Kid Minis has a small-scale Arab-themed army this month. Albino Raven Miniatures has another set of modern female soldiers. Sable Badger has been working on Japanese-themed mini-bases and a Dark Wizard Tower. The Rebel base build has a bunch of new Star Wars props and terrain for your tabletop. This is the Robo-Mantis from Creature Armory. These are the Valentine sculpts from My Poképrints. Labyrinth Models has a Mage Engineer and 2 infantry units for their Magitech range for March. These are the Zandalari Trolls, the February release from My 3D Print Forge. Here is a recap of all the minis Onmyoji has made for February. Bella Noct Miniatures has statues and busts of Aphrodite this month. Here's a peek at one of the models from the Runehorn Stampede, coming soon from Battle Yak Miniatures. These are the second coming of the Brimstone Enforcers from Crucible of Games. New models from Varus Miniatures include a Dark Ambassador, the Guardian, a Marsh Beast, and a work-in-progress Great Unclean One. Galad Miniatures has been releasing teasers of their Into the Woods set coming next month. From Ilhadiel, here are new Borg Warriors, Warlords, and Chariot Riders. Warp Miniatures has been working on air and earth elementals for next month. The latest model from channel patron The Dork Factory is named the Gunfather. Also, here's some bonus models their patrons received this month. Steam City Guard Part 2 is the latest set from Drunken Dwarf. Imitation of Life Miniatures has another set of modular mutants this week. Goonmaster Games has new Rhino Soldiers and some Fishy Folk. Here's a preview of one of the models that Pop Minis is working on this month. Clay Beast Creations is working on some tiny dinos for next month. Across the Realms is working on The Inevitables, the robotic custodians of the Order of the Multiverse. This is the Flame Lord Volcano from Imperatum Art. We've got Orcs and a Goblin King coming from Kurzluck Miniatures in March. Capsule Chibi has some free downloads for you. Dread Bread Volume 2. Turn-Based Miniatures is working on SAS models this month. Wake's Emporium has 2 great little Star Wars armies this month. Droids Against the Republic. Doses 3D has a model of Akuma and another character of their own design. This is a work-in-progress Serpent Templar from Tiger Skull RPG. Epics and Stuffs has a Dwarven Cupid and a little Owlkin love story diorama. These appear to be the final iterations of Rageous Creations' latest Battle Nuns. February is Carnivorous Plant Monster Month over at Print Your Monsters. Medbury Miniatures has Elves for their fantasy release and Normans for the start of their historical content. Dinamu 3D has finished up their Azula model from Avatar. These are still work-in-progress images of the Dreadnought that DMG Minis is making. Here are 2 new anime girls for you from Ruben. From Knucklebones Miniatures, here are more Wombwell Irregulars, Rick the Pick, and a free-for-everyone Cosmo Zombie. Titan Troll Miniatures has a dragon, Kenku, troglodytes, wolf-riding goblins, and more. Here are work-in-progress pics of a Dragonfolk Paladin and Sorcerer from Manuel Boria. Big Mr. Tong has new Stormtroopers and Banana Knights. Maddox has a set of modular wetland bucket heads and a grumpy princess on a tauntaun to go with last month's Nerf Herder and Farm Boy. For their fantasy release, channel patron Kyoshuneko Miniatures has Mongol hordes and light cavalry. And on the sci-fi side, they have a small, slightly diesel-punk World War II German army. Dice Heads has 6 animal adventurers, all on mounts this month. Here are 6 new monsters from Schlossbauer. Trident Studios has 2 pairs of superhumans. The first enemies, the second friends. .3DXM has 2 new Venom Pool models, and Raphael as well. Here is a sneak peek at the Forest Elves that Davale Games is working on for March. Bright Minis has a pig-faced orc archer, a flaming skull, a paladin on foot, and a rogue or thief. Duncan Shadow has 18 cultists and a new Froghemoth model. Twin Goddess seems to be working on a Coworkers from Hell set for March. Black Remnant has new Trandoshan Hunters, Imperial Riot Troopers, Admiral Radix, General Hux, and more. Here is a work-in-progress shot of the first character from Hell Creator's March release. Lurk, the Hobgoblin Underminer, is the latest release from Signum Workshop. Here is a Rat Ogre and Mechadrones coming soon from Rocket Pig Games. Edge Miniatures is working on Pure Blood Elites for their Dark Space Elf army. New models from Chibi STL include Spider-Man, Deathstroke, Superman, and Freddie Mercury. Here is the rest of Print Mini's Night Market set with characters, terrain, and bases. This is Landan Steamtown, the latest work-in-progress project from Dark Realms. Here is the completed Guardians of the Woods set from Vivictus Miniatures. Station Forge has new Grimguard Snipers and Scavenger Legio Soldiers. This is the Man Spider, one of several models coming for March from Prey Collection Studios. Channel patron C27 Minis has 5 new superhumans to save the day, or terrorize the city. Yasashi Kyojin Studio has a new giant boar model, as well as baby boars. Comet Lord Miniatures have started showing previews for their March release. This is the Drakkar Dreadnought. New models from Printed Obsession include the Boar Queen and several levels of Tiefling and Warforged. Blood from Stone is the February release from Dungeon Master Stash. Gear Guts Mech Shop has a bunch of new Chompers, Scuba Boys, and more. Mia K has a couple free models, a Baby Yeti and a Nature Spirit. As well, here's a look at her Angels collection. Channel patron Great Grimoire has new Egyptian gods as well as their followers, searching for the secrets of eternal life. Last Sword Miniatures is working on new Wolf Knights, a Black Knight, Elf Mage, and Atacama Warriors. These Oathbreakers are the latest models from Red Pilgrim Miniatures. Gamescape 3D has new ruins and underground dungeon terrain. Seb Miniatures has Storm Soldiers and a Beastmaster coming in March. These are work-in-progress Hanzaki Grenadiers from Cobra Mode for March. Here are work-in-progress shots of Tuya, Queen of the Plains, from Ritual Casting. This is a giant stone troll from Asgard Rising. Atlan Forge has new Asgardian Bear Riders and Hades Furies, as well as a peek at what's coming next week. Skullforge Studios has some new superheroes and sci-fi characters this month, as well as a spaceship. Channel patron Papsicles has a few mid-month minis to keep you going. Mutants and gangers, that sort of folk. Here are new Moon Knight and Venom Snake busts from Fotis Mint. Avatars of War has a Dark Gods Manticore and a Dwarf Runic Smith statue. Anvil Digital Forge has some big chunky modular marines this month. Chapter 19 from The Printing Goes Ever On is Call of the South, with Desert Infantry and a Great Warbeast. Forest Dragon is working on some Reptilian Warriors this month. Highland Miniatures has Cossacks this month, Infantry and Cavalry. Bestiarum Miniatures has part 2 of their Man-Eaters collection this month. White Werewolf Tavern's February release is titled Elven Vale, led by Tarnia and Tarniel. Gomek has new full previews up for both their sci-fi and fantasy releases, with tanks, artillery, a demon, and more. Cyberforge is working on Mercs and Cyberfist characters for March. Dare to catch them all this month with the Mini Monster Master Set from Mini Monster Mayhem. New models from the Maker's Cult include a Valor Corps Transport Walker, Zealot Ball Mech from guest artist Polygon Masterworks, and new Dark Crusader Snipers and Herald. Epic Miniatures' first March set is titled Caves of Despair, with giants, cave dragons, werewolves, ogres, driders, and more. Here is a preview image of the Swarm of the Voivre, coming from Lord of the Print in March. MZ4250 has new dragons, bullywugs, patron requests, pirates, a Sharkin Bunny, and more. One Page Rules has full previews up for their new dragon, Beastmen and Eternal Dynasty units, and more. And finally for today, Titan Forge Minis has first previews up for their Badlands Orc set coming in March. That's all for now. Huge thanks to all my patrons on Patreon. Your support really means a lot to me. Check back in a couple days-ish for another Kickstarter countdown. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and thanks for watching.